see you again. Boy, I wanna see you again. I should've listened to my mother. She told me stay away from my public with fast cars and handsome faces, pretty smiles and a talk that you live. You breathless dancing for him. Make me want it again. Baby, let me prove to you that I could be the woman you always wanted, always be there. Baby, let me prove to you I could be the woman you always wanted, always be there. But I gotta see you again. So much pain you're bringing, so much pain I feel, but I really don't mind it, matter of fact, I really enjoy it, so won't you keep on teasing me until we explode and do it again.
How are you?
I wrote this song all about ya, to let you know I'm crazy about ya. So boy, can't you see what you really do to me? Oh, baby, let me prove to you that I can be the woman you always wanted, always be there. Baby, let me prove to you I can be the woman you always wanted, always be there. But I gotta see you again. If you need a friend, that'll be me. And if you need a lover, that'll be me. And if you need an independent woman that lets you rock the way you wanna go, baby. And if you need a cook, that'll be me. And if you need a honey, that'll be me. And if you need a girl that'll sing you to sleep with music that sounds like you. Baby, let me prove to you that I could be the woman you always wanted, always needed. Baby, let me prove to you I could be the woman you always wanted, always needed. Oh yeah. But I gotta see always needed. Baby, let me prove to you I could be the woman you always wanted, always needed. But I gotta see you again. Thank you. And I'll be back during my second set.
Thank you, Christina Lovely. Give it up for her, please. I would like to now welcome our Chief Talent Officer, Lara Agostini.
Can you hear me now? I just want to say welcome to Innovators Change at JWT. I'm Laura Agostini, Chief Talent Officer at JWT, and I have the joy of being able to work with this organization worldwide. But on behalf of our entire family, we're so happy that you're here this evening. Innovators Change is an extraordinary series that we have filmed, produced, and hosted for the past 3 years. And it's been spearheaded by Kenny Thacker. Kenny. He is a filmmaker, he is a writer, but above all, he is a tireless champion of what we're trying to do here with Differenter. And he's also ably supported by many people on the Differenter committee. Jennifer, you're seeing that there are others here, so a shout out to all the Differenter people too. Thank you. In the past 3 years, we've had the joy of honoring 16 amazing individuals. And they have been rather extraordinary, from a 16-year-old jazz musician to an 80-year-old fashion icon. It has really run the gamut of people. And every year we are continually amazed, overwhelmed, and really just overwhelmed truly by the talent that we get to work with and talk to. And our honorees have shown extraordinary fortitude. Many have overcome significant personal challenges. They've risen above and given back in ways many of us can't even imagine. The pure love and commitment these people bring is palpable. And this year is no different. You will hear and see the stories of our honorees tonight. And even more importantly, you will have the chance to meet and thank each of them for what they do. And we hope you will be inspired. And I always use this quote at this event because it's important to me. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do so as well. Thank you to our honorees. Keith, Aria, Chastity, Dana, Maya, Elena, and Sanford for showing us what it is like to live a big life, and for inspiring us all to shine a bit brighter. And I also, of course, want to thank Christina for her beautiful music. So with that, she's going to introduce the most extraordinary film.
Thank you so much for those words. Couldn't have said it better. The Differenter is an opportunity for a lot of us to get together and learn, share, educate, most importantly, about community, different races, different cultures. Across New York City, 5 dynamic people are achieving the unprecedented. JWT, New York's Differenter Committee, is proud to honor their achievements. And now the premiere of Differenter's 3rd installment of Innovators of Change, a documentary about real people making.
My name is Dana Drucker Solano. My name is Chastity Lord. My name is Aria Doe.
My name is Sanford Biggers, and I am an innovator of change.
I'm a reflection of everyone that came before me, and I'm a mirror for those who come after me. And I take that very, very seriously. I believe that when you see me, you see my great-great-great-great-grandfather who was an escaped slave. You see my grandfather who was friend of the president. You see my grandmother who graduated from high school at 53 because she was determined. You see all the people. I carry everything on my shoulders that they carried within themselves. You even see my slave master, great-great-great-great-grandfather, but that family was born into a family of abolitionists who also helped forge what we are and what we become. So I carry them with me. And I believe that I'm a mirror for those who come after me, because how I live my life and the example of my life should reflect on those that I touch.
Just a person that was blessed with very good opportunities and was lucky enough to grow up in a family that instilled a good work ethic. And the rest is, but for the grace of God, would be somewhere else. And I don't know, I'm just figuring this journey out as it comes. So I'm just really grateful to be right here today, experiencing the gifts that are around me?
I would say I'm a manifester. I'm someone that believes strongly that in order for something to show up in your life, you have to have a clear vision for it. I think it's important to realize that as human beings we're wedded to being right. And so what you believe and draw energy toward actually determines what is possible. I would also say that I'm a revolutionary. I think we stand on the shoulders of some amazing heroes and sheroes. I believe that I am a mentor. I think it's important to demystify what is possible. Oftentimes people feel like it might be possible for you, but not for someone else. That's because we don't tell the full story. We don't talk about the times where things haven't gone well, haven't gone right. I would say that I am also someone who believes it's important to be unreasonable, to dream audacious, huge, big, crazy dreams, and stand next to them, and welcome people to be a part of them.
I work in many different disciplines, whether it be painting, sculpture, installation, even music. And I try to bring my ideas to life into some tangible form, some experiential form that others can, be challenged by, inspired by, and hopefully pushed to another level of their own expression.
I am a writer and artist. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I'm kind of the all-encompassing, you can have it all type of woman. I push myself every day to follow my dream. I'm a dreamer, I'm a visionary, and I'm the creator of Apricot Brown, which is a character that uses diversity as her superpower, and hopefully will impact and encourage girls from around the world to celebrate their differences and create their own unique identities with fearlessness.
It's definitely humbling. It's humbling to be honored for what you do naturally. Change is a natural progression. I think when we come to transform into something better all the time. It's also such an honor because I actually stand on the shoulders of many, and many stand behind me. So when you honor me, you're actually honoring so many more than just Aria Dell.
I could never have imagined ever being in a place where I would be recognized on a level like this, especially during Black History Month, which is like, just has a special place in my heart. So I'm excited.
I feel that it's not about me, and so I feel it as a recognition of decision making. I was talking earlier about how mentorship is non-negotiable. I feel like it's a recognition of those types of quality traits. Someone who's willing to have a vision for their community, someone who's willing to have a vision for those that are coming after us. So I celebrate that. When I see the recognition as of Chastity Lord, then I become a little squirmish. But when I see it as a recognition of decision making in the way that I live my life and the things that I hold as important, then I'm like, yeah, right on. It's important that people know that those types of things are seen as innovative properties.
Humbled is the first thing that comes to mind. And grateful that the people who have given me the opportunity to grow and learn can be represented through this as well. Just very grateful that there is an opportunity that I can in some way try to do something for someone in a way that things were done for me. And for that I'm grateful.
I feel that this is a great opportunity. I'm very fortunate to have received it, particularly for me because in my field, it can be so niche. Most people don't really think about what artists actually do. They take art for granted, even though art is around them all the time, whether in the form of design or advertising, you name it. So to be honored on a platform like this puts me in the conversation with people from various fields. And it shows that artists do more than just paint pretty pictures, but we're thinking about very big things, and we have access and audience that we can influence through what we do.
In particular, the Action Center It actually was a collaborative between my husband and I. I'm not sure if you understand a lot about the Rockaways, and people who would see this know what the Rockaways is like, but it's a microcosm of anything that you can find in the U.S. On this side, you have your millionaires and your multi-millionaires. You hear about the Breezy Point homes during Sandy and Bell Harbor. And then on the other side, you have your stabilized families. By no means are they on the level of the of multi-millionaires, but they're stabilized economically. Kids are in college. Many are homeowners. My husband and I live on that side. And in the middle, you have some of the poorest residents in not just the United States, but also with statistics that rival third world countries. 12 years ago, I came home frustrated at many of the stories we were hearing. And I saw the kids with their nose pressed against the window seeing just in the middle of the haves and have-nots. And my husband told me, you know what, we could either be part of the problem or part of the solution. And at that point, he and I both were in the corporate world, and we decided to cash in our 401ks and start the Action Center. We've been able in 12 years with $8 million and all these resources to lift the community 1 foot. Because the tasks in and in hardest communities are just that daunting. When Superstorm Sandy hit, we lost about half a foot. So even while we're here, and even when it hit, getting folks to the status quo wasn't good enough. And now we're fighting to get back to that status quo of 200% below poverty level, as opposed to perhaps 300% now.
I got started in the visual arts at a very early age. In fact, I never made a conscious decision to follow that path. I was always very interested and engaged in the arts and crafts classes and nursery school, elementary school, and so on. That was the only time when I would actually focus and concentrate and not be distracted by all the things going on in the classroom. And later that transitioned to drawing on canvas and painting pictures of musicians that I was listening to, and then even doing graffiti, any form of artistic expression I was very involved with at an early age.
I started working at advertising and marketing 10 years ago. I've always wanted to create images that kind of reflected a world that I was living in, but I didn't really see in the media. So that's why I thought I would go into advertising and marketing to help tell the stories through brands that have big budgets to relate to all different types of people. And ultimately I discovered that, you know, a lot of the creative energy that I had wasn't really recognized in the roles that I had in working for other companies and their brands. So ultimately I figured out that I wanted to create my own brand and create something that really stood for something that I believed in. So yeah, so that's what got me started in working in advertising and marketing. That's what interests me in that line of work, and then led me to want to create a children's entertainment brand.
The path started for me in 8th grade. I would wake up, and at the time it was through athletics, but wake up and every single day I had something inside of me. If I didn't run, if I didn't work out, I couldn't go to bed. I would have the key to the gym, and I would go up there at 10:30 at night and work out till midnight to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start changing water. And I remember when singing started, I was so busy learning the music for the first time. I remember at the end of the day, it was about 11:30 at night, and I was walking out to my car, and it hit me. I didn't work out. And I realized at that moment that my athletic career had completely come to an end. And that I found something new. In music, you need to be in a world of discovery. And you can only really be a true artist if you allow yourself to go down that path and live in a world of discovery. And it's very hard to not think about the what ifs and the could haves and what about this and what is happening now. And then the next thing happens, and the next thing, pretty soon, you've had a complete dialogue with yourself about something that hasn't happened. Every single thing that you're doing is stopping you from taking a breath and looking at the moment right now and saying, here's an opportunity to appreciate something, rather than think about, is somebody appreciating this because I want them to?
One of the things that have been solidified for me is to make sure you surround your people with folks who know what you don't know. I think one of the biggest signs of intelligence is to know what you don't know and to get people who know it and to make sure that you have them as part of your team. And the second is, and I wish I had learned it so much earlier in my life, that giving and a life of service is the most fulfilling thing that a person can do. That you get so much more back than you could ever give.
One thing I learned is that, and from town, I think it's what they say to refer to Jesus actually, and that is truly the case. I mean, even if you look at someone like Steve Jobs, who we all admire today, and who has basically changed the world, he went through those same obstacles. People in their disbelief, but never once did he truly disbelieve himself. And I think that's the kind of thing I want to instill in people through my work. I think that's the kind of thing that we need to instill in our children, our relatives. We have to think outside the box because we live in a time where things that we took for granted before as safe and stable paths have proven not to be that safe and stable after all. So you really have to proceed and chase your goals.
Focus on being one of the best. Don't focus on being the best. That's such an 80s overrated concept and it's distracting and it brings too much ego into the conversation. Focus on being one of the best. Be willing to do what someone on your left or right isn't willing to do. Be unreasonable about it. Be really, really visionary about it. And that is how I think you transform industry, transform opportunities. Play your game, let the scoreboard do what it will do. Just stay in the game, stay focused on what you're doing.
I think it's a very interesting time for everyone actually, not just creatives, but everybody. The world is changing, information is quick, boundaries are breaking down, old rules don't apply, and we're living in a time of facilities. So pretty much every field is overlapping into each other right now. So it's fertile ground, and I tell the next generation and the generation after them, as they come in as my students, to prepare themselves, to open themselves up to every form of information and communication out there. Particularly for the artists, they're able to synthesize this. I think that's what the strength of artists are. Since we're not bound by certain limitations, we can synthesize information and output it in a way that can be visually appealing, challenging, arresting, even repulsive, but provocative.
I would say find a blueprint for what you want to do. So do your research, read the stories that of the people who come before you and who are successful, and take what they've done and then twist it and make it your own.
Sit with the quiet, sit with the silence, and ask yourself, what do I not want to be? What do I need to be? And then allow yourself to start to take that journey only after the understanding has come, without telling yourself, I need to do this because so-and-so said this, or somebody expects me to go, my father used to play football, or whatever it is. Just sit with yourself long enough until the answers come, and then ask the questions.
Start early. I was so often that when I was younger, I understood how wonderful it feels to give and how much more you get from giving. So my best advice would be to start early. It doesn't have to be big, it could be small. It could be just giving a smile a day, or giving a day a week, or a day a month to someone and someone else, but I would start early. Banishing fear and anger. I'm trying to operate without it. That's one of the traits. Second is, I trust my gut instinct. And then the third is always trying, but not always being successful at it, but to operate from a position that starts with love.
Education, huge. Social graces, being able to be comfortable in my own skin, which is something that took me a long time to do, but that is essential. And faith is huge for me. That's allowed me to be successful, because I've been able to just know that I have all that I need, I have all the tools, and just to take that step forward is a powerful thing that I think has helped me get to where I am.
I think the three traits that have helped me to succeed have been discipline, although I sometimes think of myself as a non-disciplined person. In fact, I am quite disciplined. The other thing is to not be discouraged, to just have fortitude. So I always have a thing that I tell my students that if you're not getting rejections, then you're not trying hard enough. The point being is that you have to deal with rejections to get the affirmations, and if you're not putting yourself out there, you receive guidance first. And the third thing would probably be sort of boundless creativity and imagination. I believe anything is possible. I truly believe that. And I live by that. I had a lot of role models, some that I actually knew, some that I just watched from afar. I think the first two that come to mind would be my father and my sister. My whole family in general. I learned a lot. I'm the youngest of 3 children, and I observed. That was one of the lessons I learned early on. You're probably functioning at your best when you're quiet and observing. So I definitely got my interest in research and history from my father. I got my understanding of aesthetics and tactility from my mother. I got my career trajectory from my sister. I got my sense of style and savvy from my brother.
I just admire people who, and they're role models for me, who are just willing to live their life. Courage is something that I bow down to. I think it's really easy to do things when you know what the outcome's going to be, but when you have no idea what the outcome's going to be and you do it anyway because you feel like it's the right thing for you to do, I mean, really, high five to you. I admire people who who dream big dreams. You know, the reason why I love President Obama, not because he's president, but because he had a vision for being president. He was willing to do something even in the absence of it making sense. People forget that Clinton was in the race. That is a heritage, and he was willing to go up against that. I admire Oprah, not because she's Oprah, but because when she was at the top of her game, she stayed challenged and she wanted to create a new station. And it's really hard to stay uncomfortable. I admire my mother for not necessarily knowing how to do and be and achieve what she hoped her girls would be able to achieve, but she did what she did. She did what she did know, and she knew education was important, and she doubled down on that, and she made the library a place that I feel extremely comfortable.
My role model started with my parents. My mother's independent woman, always worked, always empowered me creatively. She's an artist, and she's an art teacher. She's got a master's, she's now an educator. My father, he's just and he's a funny guy. He's always fought for me to create my own destiny and follow my own path, be able to support myself. And then it's really the women in my family, because I have a tremendous amount of women that have impacted me from all different cultures and religions, and they've all shared their stories with me, and they've impacted the way that I'm able to see myself.
My parents taught us not to have heroes. They taught us to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves first. But even having said that, they're my heroes all the same. They taught us that the example of your life is the role that you set for other people to model after. And so each one and each person is a role model. I can't give you a name of a person and say, oh, Martin Luther King, I want to be like him, or Obama, anybody like that. I can't. I want to be like me.
Black History Month, I think, as a people, we often get very uncomfortable with things that have to talk about race and race specifically. I think pride is very important. It's really important to be able to see yourself in others, and not just literally, but also figuratively, for being able to have shared narratives. And so Black History Month is a moment where, as a country, we take a moment to reflect on who we've been, who we are, and who we desire to be. I think for people of color, it's a moment, for Black people, it's a moment for us to stop, honor that which has come before us, that which is happening now, and that which we desire to happen, because Black History Month is about you doing a soft reset and getting back in the game. It's about looking at the scoreboard, but more importantly, it's about saying, all right, pass me the ball, I'm ready.
The significance of celebrating Black History Month is recognizing the contribution of a whole community and race of people that built this country and had to fight to get the respect and to get, are still fighting to be recognized for all they do.
I think it's significant and important that we celebrate our Blackness every day, that children are taught and that we all are taught to look in the mirror and to see beauty, and that doesn't often happen. And I think it's important, though, that as we celebrate it now in this world, in this sphere that we live in now, that those who are leading the charge now are those who are being celebrated. That's not to say our ancestors or those in history that came before us are not important. They got us to where we are now. But kids also need to be able to touch, to feel, to dream, and to see that dream alive. So it is very, very important for them to look up now and say, yes, I can be president. It's important for them to celebrate the now and to celebrate who we have now.
There's a big pot that feeds everyone, and the pot is humanity. So dividing that doesn't conquer, it separates. And by separating, there's envy, there's greed, there's justification, there's self-entitlement that are all part of those individual circles. So when an opportunity comes to bring those together, instead of dividing, we can multiply. And that's what I think is so special about an opportunity to celebrate something like this.
Well, first of all, I don't think America can ever be post-racial. I wish it could be, but I think we're too addicted to our own historical pathologies and our need to separate from each other. Black history, I think, should always be celebrated, regardless of what month it is, and regardless by what culture, because African American / Black history is so the delineation should no longer really be made. If we can do that, then we could probably start thinking about post-racial anything. But before that, when Black history and all our contributions are relegated to a 28-day month, we're not ready for post-racial society.
My name is Chastity Lord, and what makes me differenter is I get that I stand on the shoulders of heroes and heroes that have come before me, and they have given me the courage and the ability to make innovative decisions that allow me to be differenter.
I'm Aria Doe, and what makes me differenter is I have
a healthy disregard for the word impossible.
My name is Dana Drucker Solano. What makes me differenter is diversity. I believe diversity is an American and global birthright. It's what's going to unite us and bring our planet forward for the new world.
All right.
I'm Sanford Biggers, and what makes me differenter is that I am the synthesis of every person that I've come in contact with, every culture that I've lived in, every language that I speak, and that I have the means and ability to communicate those ideas through my visual art, through music, through sound, and communicate those experiences to others.
Wow. I've seen this about 5 times and every time I tear up, seriously. If you were not inspired by these people, you have no soul. I am just telling you right now. It just makes you want to go out there and reach out and remember that we're all one. Right? Right? We are one. That's the most important lesson here. And we gotta work together. Thank you again. This was an amazing work, and I couldn't even begin to say all the words that I'm feeling right now. Just want to welcome again to the stage, Christina Lovely.
the same for me. That's the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love. Times we get sick of love. It seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved. You made your mistakes. We both still have room left to grow. And though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first. And you'll make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. This time it wasn't no fairy tale conclusion, y'all. Gets more confusing every day. Sometimes it's every second. Head back down again. We kiss and we make up on the way. I hang, you call. We rise and we fall. We feel like just walking away. As I leave the fences, we take second chances. Boy, it's no fantasy. I still want you to stay. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. We're just ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Maybe we'll never learn. Maybe we'll catch and burn. Maybe you stay. Maybe you leave. Maybe you'll return. Maybe another fight. Maybe we won't survive. Maybe we'll grow. You'll never know, baby. You and I, we're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Whoa. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Thank you. So now this next song is also an original song that I wrote just a couple of days ago. So you guys are going to be the first to hear it. We excited? Well, the chorus you guys all know. So I need you to help me sing the chorus. If you hear it and you know it, if you have food in your mouth, spit it out, do something. But I need y'all to sing the chorus with me for this one. Here we go. I'm getting up for this song, so y'all have to sing. People say I'm losing my mind for painting a picture with you.
It just started when you walked in.
People say I'm losing my mind
Taking photos and getting video.
for dreaming of a life brand new.
Yeah, it's nice.
With you, it's just so easy. That is why I keep on running back to you. be your, don't wanna be just a friend.
Right.
Is it true you're thinking about me? Cause I'm losing myself thinking about you.
Oh, I'm good. I ain't drinking today.
Is it true you're in love with me? Maybe that is why it feels so good with you. It's just so easy. That is why I keep on running back to you. Oh, with you, it's so confusing. Cause I know it's wrong, but it feels so right. Yes, it's right. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Come on, let me hear you. Cause you, oh baby, you got what I need. Oh, but you say I'm just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Oh, but just say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just break it down. Don't wanna be just a friend. Don't wanna be just a friend. Don't wanna be just a friend, just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. Oh, you say I'm just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. But you say, cut the music off one more time. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Cause you say, cause you, oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. But you say, come on, G, give them something. Thank you.
We're going to start. Again, my name is Jennifer Martinez, and I would like to present to you 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Miss Dana Drucker Solano, author and creator of Apricot Brown. She worked in advertising and marketing, and she realized there was no role model as a young girl that she could relate to. So in 2001, she created the character Apricot Brown, along with a book she has been able to share with schools and also museums and other places here in New York as well. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Dana Drucker Solano.
I'm so excited to be here today and to be recognized with this amazing cast of artists and activists and people who are impacting the world. I am proud to be a multi-ethnic, African-American, Native American, that celebrates diversity and uplifts all people to recognize the beauty and greatness that lives within us all. So I'd like to thank my parents, who were the original innovators of change, who married outside of their race and religion, and that's why I think I got my revolutionary voice, and I want to thank them, and for my aunts, who are a rainbow of beauty, and they have taught me and were my role models as a woman of color. And a girl of diversity, because I think there aren't enough of us in children's programming and in literature. So that's what led me to create Apricot Brown, to celebrate all girls, and no matter what they look like and where they come from. And to Zanswell Rice, who's the author and the artist behind Apricot Brown, is amazing. My brothers, my Auntie Sharon, all of my friends here. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Dwaylen Atkins-Cephas, and I'd like to present to you the 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Chastity Lord. She is the Chief External Officer for Achievement First, a network of 22 public charter schools helping 7,000 low-income students match the achievements of their wealthiest peers and beyond. Once again, Chastity Lord.
I'll be really quick. The thing that I will say is it is as much a reminder to me as it is to the audience. I didn't know people lived the way that I lived. I am humbled by my life. I'm humbled by the sacrifices my mother, my grandmother, and those that have come before me have made. And the thing that I say to myself is, as much as I say to everyone in this audience, Maya Angelou talks about surviving is important, but thriving is elegant. You guys, we are bought and paid for it. It's time for us to move out of survival mode and start to thrive. To whom much is given, much is required. We are who we've been waiting for. Much love. And now I would like to present to you the 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Ms. Arielyn Doe, who is the founder of Action Center. She cashed in her 401k and decided to change the world. Along with her husband, she co-founded Action Center, bringing employment, medical, and community services to over 55,000 families. Wow. And 6,000 youths. And following Hurricane Sandy, she helped a lot of people at Rockaway, and almost reached $1 million in food, diapers, donations, and continues to provide free medical aid. Please welcome Arielyn Doe.
Thank you so much. As I said on the video, I stand on the shoulders of so many from the past and also from the now. And I just like to take a moment to have the managers from our company as well as my husband stand up, because I couldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and they really should have been up there as well. I really appreciate it. When I first heard about the award, I thought, okay, that's great, that's nice, it'll bring some attention to the Rockaways where we desperately need attention because there's suffering going on. But as I was interviewed, and the word different kept coming up again and again and again, my heart got so excited. Because it's not very often that we celebrate difference. And to be here and to be among these people, we know what different is. Because different is what makes you push through and not accept no. Different is what makes people admire you, and the same things they admire you for are the same things that may push them away. Different is not stopping no matter what to get what you have manifest would be in your life. And it's not always easy. So I'm excited here tonight because difference is being honored. And I hope that we can teach our children also to honor it within themselves. Thank you.
I would like to present to you the 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Sanford Biggers. An LA native currently working in NYC, New York City, Sanford Biggers creates artwork that integrates film, video, installation, sculptures, drawing, original music, and performance. His works have appeared in venues worldwide, including Tate Britain, Tate Modern Whitney Museum, and the Studio Museum in Harlem, as well as institutions in Germany, China, Hungary, Japan, Poland, and Russia. Sanford Biggers.
Good evening. I'm humbled and awed to be here with such distinguished people, like you in the audience, of course, and also my colleagues. It's quite an honor to receive this. As I mentioned in the video as well, being a visual artist, sometimes we are overlooked, and it's good to know that the stage is open for our work and our expression to be accepted and included with other people as diverse as the group I'm with tonight. So thanks, and I'm inspired. Take care.
And now I would like to present 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Mr. Keith Miller, bass baritone vocalist for the Metropolitan Opera. Keith currently serves as a music festival director for opera and opera young artist program. He is a native of Ovid, Colorado. Is that correct? Okay. And now I want to present to you Mr. Keith Miller.
Hello. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank JWT, Innovators of Change, Kenny for all of the work for this wonderful evening, and what I would just call a truly inspiring group of people that it's amazing events like this, you never know who's sitting next to you, you never know who's doing what, and the thing that's really special about what is happening here tonight is that it's an inspiration for people to continue. I always say, how do you exceed your greatest expectations if you don't start with your greatest expectations? And in this room tonight are people who have done exactly that, and it's a benchmark. And it's wonderful. We talk of standing on the shoulders of people, but also to realize that there are those that need to stand on ours. So it's wonderful to be included in this group and just grateful and completely inspired. I just want to thank everybody for being part of this wonderful company. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Maya Azucena, singer, songwriter, and human rights activist. She is an award-winner singer-activist that travels around the world making music that matters. Billboard and the Washington Post have heralded her mesmerizing performances, and the Village Voice commented, armed with a powerfully compelling voice, she could be the most impressive of the current hip-hop, soul, and R&B diva crop. Please welcome Maya Azucena.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very thankful to be acknowledged for my work, not just as a singer, but as an activist through music. I really believe that music is my superpower, and it's my way of helping the world. And I think that when faced with incredible atrocities, injustices, and unexpected acts of God that wipe people out by the hundreds of thousands, you have that momentary feeling of powerlessness. And I think right after that, for me, I felt this uncontrollable need to sing. I felt that singing and getting up in front of people was going to be my way to uplift and bring healing back into the communities around the world. But if you ask me my purpose for singing, it is not about fame. It is about instilling in others a reminder that they have a power within them to make a change in their communities and in their own lives. So I challenge people through my music to feel empowered and recognize that we should reclaim our power to make a difference in the world around us and not be afraid. So my name is Maya Asusena, and I'm very honored to share this acknowledgement with the incredible people that came here tonight. Thank you.
And last, but definitely not least, I would like to present to you 2013 Innovator of Change honoree, Director of Merton Simpson Art Gallery. She serves as the director of the Art Gallery, home to the largest collection of traditional African art in the world. Hopefully she can tell us a little bit more about that. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Elena Simone.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction, and thank you, JWT, thank you, God, thank you, friends. Honor and a pleasure to be here. Sorry that I missed you guys earlier. We were having a meeting in the ladies' room, so. But, you know, the wheel has already been built, and basically it's just up to us to make it spin. And that's what I try to do every day, is just to make it spin. And just to take what is already there. Like Merton Simpson started back in 1954. And this is the largest collection of traditional African art in this country, privately owned. So, I mean, that's something, and it's all about preservation. And what we need to do, especially with art, is preserve. Because, I mean, what will we have to give next if we don't save what we have now? So thank you, and it's a pleasure and an honor, and thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man behind Innovators of Change 2013. Let's hear it for Kenny Thacker.
Dana Drucker told me to play that song. I'm just gonna play that. Dana Drucker Solano. Excuse me, Apricot Brown told me to play that song. All right. Everybody have a good night tonight? Everybody have a good time? Did everybody have a good time tonight? Well, there's so many things I could say right now. But
That's right.
what to say. I normally have a lot to say all the time, as you guys know. But this project this is the third installment of this project, and we just keep getting better at it. And it wouldn't be possible without my team. I have a really small team, but we make it happen. Everyone from Dwayne and Jennifer, my brother Tim Dimitropoulos, he's somewhere around here. My brother Alfred Cervantes, Adam Hada, that's my whole team. Like, you know, we run up on these interviews and we talk to these amazing people, and every single interview we walk from, we just walk away more inspired and like, we can't wait to meet the next person, the next person, the next person. So hopefully you guys got that out of the work tonight. I'd like to thank my mom. She came through tonight. I love her to death. I hope you're proud, Mama. To all my friends here at JWT, you guys know who you are. Even ex-JWTers that are here, love y'all too. We still need to work here. Definitely gotta thank Laura Agostini for like just supporting me, like ups and downs, all this stuff. You know, I come to Laura and I come with all these ideas, and she's like, that's amazing. That's great. I love it. I love you. I'm like, I love you. But, you know, that's what our meetings normally consist of. You know, I love you. But you know, then we come out with this. I gotta thank my girl Cassidy for helping me out with this project. She helped me out on the project. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm really, you know, I got my jacket on today. I normally wear t-shirts all the time for you guys, I know. But this is just the beginning of the year. So get ready. Thank you all. Live, love, create, change. Have a good night. Oh, Christina Lovely's up next, right? Yeah, Christina's back to the stage. You know,